In the summer of 2024, Raphinha was on the edge. The Brazilian winger, once seen as the future of Barcelona's right flank, had become an afterthought. Behind the scenes, he was exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally. Even when he was among the best players on the pitch, he never felt trusted. He gave his all, but he didn't feel appreciated by the club. He was ready to go.
Oye, ¿te has planteado irte del Barça en algún momento en estos 2 años que no te salían las cosas a lo mejor como querías?
Sí.
And then came a phone call that changed his entire career. From the dusty clay pitches in Brazil to silencing the Bernabeu, this is the incredible rise of Raphinha.
Raphinha has Guerrero backpedaling. Oh!
It's Raphinha, and Raphinha has won it for Barcelona.
Raphinha surging forward again. It's the hat-trick goal. Raphinha, and what a season Raphinha is having.
Raphinha was born on December 14th, 1996 in Porto Alegre, Brazil, and grew up in Restinga, a poor and dangerous favela far from the bright lights of Brazilian football.
Cara, eu cresci num bairro bem humilde de Porto Alegre, chama Restinga.
Life wasn't easy. He shared a small room with his parents, younger brother, and even their pets.
Então era praticamente nós 4, um gato, um cachorro, sempre tinha algum animal de estimação.
At times, his family didn't have enough money for food, and Raphinha would ask strangers for help after training.
Já precisei pedir dinheiro na rua, já precisei pedir comida na rua. Muitas pessoas me ajudaram com um biscoito, alguma coisa, uma bolacha.
His dad was a drummer in a local samba band, and through that connection, Raphinha got to meet Ronaldinho at a young age, even going to his birthday party when he was just 7 years old. That moment left a huge mark on him. Of course, this was Raphinha before he started looks maxing. But while some kids went to football academies, Raphinha played in Várzea games.
Cara, eu joguei até meus 17 anos, meus 18 anos, eu joguei só campeonato de várzea no Brasil.
Rough, street-style matches ran by the community. There were no proper pitches, often not even shirts, and the fans were loud, aggressive, and right on top of you. According to Raphinha himself, these games taught him toughness and gave him the confidence to play with flair.
Pressão mesmo é tu jogar dentro de um campo, na várzea, dentro de uma comunidade, na comunidade rival, jogando uma final de campeonato, e escutando tiro pra cima, e foguete do outro time, e ameaça. Então, a várzea trabalha muito também teu psicológico, né? Pra te aprender a suportar a pressão.
Even though he was clearly talented, big clubs like Grêmio and Internacional rejected him. Some thought he was too small. He watched other kids around him, some even better than him, give up on football completely and fall into crime or drugs. That only pushed him harder. Eventually, after bouncing around smaller clubs, he got his chance at Avai. Avai was Raphinha's lifeline. One last opportunity to show himself. He was 18, older than most players breaking into the academy setup, but he was determined to make it. In Brazil, you gotta be a baller as soon as you can walk, cause teenagers are considered unks in football, especially in the favelas. Usually, top Brazilian talents would already be hyped at this stage in their careers, or at least on the brink of a move to Europe. But Raphinha, well, he was just trying to keep his footballing dreams alive. His time at Avai wasn't easy. Injuries kept him off the pitch more than he liked, and he didn't get that much game time. But instead of giving up, he kept training hard and stayed focused on improving. Behind the scenes, he was growing, getting sharper, stronger, and smarter about the game. Everything for him changed during the 2016 Copa São Paulo de Futebol Junior, Brazil's biggest youth tournament. I bet you this is where Perez goes during his time off, trying to smuggle the next Vini or next Rodrigo. At this tournament, Raphinha finally got to show what he could do, and he didn't disappoint. He stood out with his speed, creativity, and fearlessness, and that's when fate stepped in. Watching from the sidelines was former Barcelona star Deco, who was now a football agent. He saw something special in Raphinha and decided to sign him to his agency. Deco made the calls, he pulled some strings, and within weeks, Raphinha had an offer to move to Europe, to Vitória de Guimarães in Portugal. It was the break Raphinha had been waiting for. His dream was finally starting to take shape. Portugal was Raphinha's first step into professional football. At Vitória de Guimarães, he started with the B team but quickly moved up. His breakout season came in the 2017-2018 season, scoring 18 goals in 43 appearances and earning the club's breakthrough player of the year. He also made his debut in European competitions in the form of the UEFA Europa League. Slowly, he was becoming more known in European football. One of Portugal's biggest clubs, Sporting, had taken notice of his talent and decided to sign the Brazilian to a 5-year deal in 2018. Although a muscle injury disrupted his momentum, Raphinha helped the team win a domestic double, the Taça de Portugal and Taça da Liga. He worked hard, played 36 matches in all competitions, and scored 7 goals. He did struggle a little bit with his end product, it was inconsistent, but he knew how to show up in the big moments. That's how he was able to score his penalty in the Portuguese Cup final against Porto. He had done the Cristiano Ronaldo special, do nothing in the 90 minutes, but score your pen and take the credit. Raphinha's time at Sporting though was key to his growth. It gave him valuable experience in top European games and helped him become a more complete player. His strong performances caught the eye of other clubs, and in 2019 he made a move to Rennes in France, continuing his rise. Raphinha became Rennes' record signing in 2019 for 21 million euros.
21 millions d'euros pour le Brésilien Raphinha, le record de l'ère moderne du Stade Rennais.
He arrived in France with a large price tag and a point to prove. That was a lot of money for a winger from Portugal who few Ligue 1 fans had heard of, but they'd soon know his name. Wearing the number 7 shirt, Raphinha didn't waste time making an impression.
Signed for 21 million euros from Sporting Club in Portugal, went on a mazy run, but the crossbar denied him a first goal.
On a cold November night, he scored his first goal for the club, a calm finish in a 3-1 win.
Second most expensive player in Rennes history, making his mark.
It was a glimpse of what was to come. Then came the derby, January 31st, 2020, Rennes vs Nantes. With the match hanging in the balance, Raphinha delivered a performance that would cement his place in Rennes history. 2 goals.
Niang to level it, denied by the phone, followed up, and Raphinha gets the goal. Well, you don't have to be the one to take it, just as long as you make it. It's 1-1.
The second, a last-minute winner that sent the home fans into a frenzy.
And via VAR, it's given. It's the game winner, the would-be winner for Raphinha.
It was raw emotion, the kind of play that turns players into heroes.
Scenes at Resurgence Park.
Fast forward a few years later, and Raphinha is still as clutch as ever.
It's Raphinha, and Raphinha has won it for Barcelona.
Throughout that season, Raphinha was more than just highlights. He was the heartbeat of Rennes' attack. He finished the campaign with 8 goals and 7 assists, driving the team to a 3rd place finish in Liga, their highest in years. For the first time in the club's history, Rennes had qualified for the UEFA Champions League. But just as that dream was about to begin, another door opened. It was time for some fish and chips. And by that, I mean the Premier League came calling.
Raphinha, first of all, how are you feeling now you're a Leeds United player?
When Raphinha landed in Leeds, there were questions. £17 million for a winger from Liga, in a Bielsa system that demanded intensity, work rate, and intelligence, he'd have to prove himself fast. And he did.
He has got a wand in that left boot, I have to say.
Raphinha's debut season in the Premier League was electric. He danced past defenders with ease. He struck the ball with venom from distance. He didn't just play football, he made it look like art. His first goal came in a gritty 1-0 win over Everton.
Tries a shot, oh my word! What a goal from Raphinha!
You know, it's a special moment for Rafa. You know, I've been telling him he's going to score a goal whenever he gets a chance, and you know, he's come close the last few weeks, but you know, I finally got one today.
Leeds' first league victory at Goodison Park since 1990, but that was just the beginning. Week after week, he lit up Ellen Road with moments of magic, no-look passes, outrageous nutmegs, and goals that left people's jaws on the floor. The oi bruvs in England thought they were watching witchcraft. That's why I always laugh when people say that Raphinha is a fake Brazilian. This guy looked like Neymar in the Premier League. He wasn't just a new signing, he was the star, the spark, the symbol of what Leeds could become. By the 2021-2022 season, Raphinha was Leeds United's top goal scorer, but the club was in trouble. Injuries piled up, the results dipped, and with relegation looming, it all came down to the final day.
It all comes down to the final fixture.
Brentford away, the 56th minute.
It's a penalty to Leeds! It's a penalty to Leeds! Raya caught Raphinha after making an error, and Leeds United have a penalty kick here.
Raphinha steps up to the spot. Leeds need a win to stay up.
Otherwise, Leeds United will not be playing Premier League football again next season.
Calm, focused, he buries it.
Strikes the ball. Raphinha. Yeah! Raphinha has put Leeds United in front here. A massive goal.
That goal, which was his last for the club, helped secure their Premier League survival.
And Leeds United have won at Brentford. And that, my friends, is the season over.
We always had hope. We always had spirit.
How are you feeling now you're a Leeds United player?
Raphinha's time at Leeds was short, but unforgettable. He gave them hope, he gave them flair, he even got married there. He gave them moments that will be talked about for years. Off the pitch, Europe's biggest clubs had been watching. Chelsea wanted him, Arsenal and Spurs too.
This is an interesting one, isn't it, with Raphinha? We've seen plenty of clubs linked. It's big money. Chelsea prepared to pay over 50 million for him. Could Barcelona hijack this move, do you think?
But Raphinha had made up his mind long ago. Barcelona was the dream.
This is driven by the player, and sometimes we talk about the power of players. He wants to go to Barcelona. There are other options out there, Chelsea being one of those main options.
So when they finally made the call, he didn't hesitate.
Well, it looks like Raphinha is set to join Barcelona soon.
But this is all about the player. The player had set his heart on the move to Barcelona.
The amount of Barcelona fans that were watching that Leeds game was crazy. There was a relegation clause in his contract, so every Barcelona fan was hoping that Leeds would end up losing that game so Barcelona could pick up the Brazilian on the cheap.
Barcelona were thinking that if Leeds were relegated, his price was lower and they could afford that.
From the Premier League's underdog to the spotlight of the Camp Nou, his rise was only just beginning. When Raphinha arrived at Barcelona in the summer of 2022, it should have been a dream come true. A massive club, a club with a wonderful lineage of Brazilian stars. But the reality, it hit hard.
Do those two play together then, Raphinha and Dembele? How does that work?
That's a good question. It's a really good question. If you're gonna indeed invest money, then I just don't see why you're investing money in similar players.
Right from the start, he was doubted, and every missed shot, every misplaced pass was met with whispers. He was supposed to be the spark, the answer on the wing. Whenever Dembele played well, Raphinha was the one who sat. And when Raphinha played, every game felt like a trial. He was good in his first season. He helped win La Liga and the Supercopa de España. But the truth is, he never truly felt wanted.
That's surprising change, that, yeah.
Massively surprising. I don't think he's that happy, is he?
No.
Raphinha, I think he's thinking, I'm playing out my skin here. Just scored.
Yeah, that's a surprising change. Look at his reaction.
Xavi seemed to believe in the system more than the individual, and even when Raphinha was one of Barcelona's best players, he was regularly subbed off around the 60th minute, over and over again. Even when Xavi had experimented him on the left wing, which ended up becoming his best position, the Brazilian felt a lack of belief from his manager. Even some fans were beginning to disrespect him, with some taking to social media to express their frustrations, and the answer was always the same. They wanted the new shiny toy, Nico Williams. It's crazy to think about considering how good Raphinha was, especially towards the back end of the season. The game against PSG alone should have been an indicator that Raphinha has a ceiling that he hadn't even reached yet. But still, the Brazilian didn't feel the love. By the summer of 2024, he was ready to leave.
Oye, ¿te has planteado irte del Barça en algún momento en estos 2 años que no te salían las cosas a lo mejor como querías?
Sí. Sí.
Barcelona were open to offers. His bags were nearly packed.
Siempre, todos los días hay una noticia diferente, que Raphinha va para aquí, Raphinha va para ahí, Raphinha va para el otro lado, y esto acaba te molestando. Pero como te dije, los primeros 6 meses fueron durísimos.
And then the phone rang. It was Hansi Flick. He told him to show up for training before making any decision. Flick had a plan and was counting on the Brazilian. From the moment Flick took charge, Raphinha wasn't just part of the team, he was the blueprint. No longer stuck on the wing, Flick pushed him into more central spaces, behind Lewandowski, into the heart of danger. The result? Chaos for defenders, but joy for Barcelona. Flick saw Raphinha's true potential as he profiled him better than any other manager. His best quality is his movement and speed. Playing him through the middle and as a runner on the left wing has gotten the best out of him. Look at how many goals he has scored as a result of being the outlet to one of Yamal's passes. He offers so much verticality, which is perfect for the direct style of play that Flick wants. A hat-trick against Valladolid.
Through, and he's able to get there, and he's able to finish. Beautifully done by Raphinha, underlining
his strong start to the season with his first goal now for Raphinha. Beautifully finished. And what a season he's having, what a day he's having.
Another hat-trick, this time against Bayern Munich in the Champions League.
Raphinha has Guerrero backpedaling. Whoa! 3-1. Raphinha surging forward again. It's the hat-trick goal. Raphinha.
A goal and assist in El Clasico.
Lucas Vazquez is on trouble here. And the little lob will make it 4, will it?
Oh my word, brilliant from Raphinha, who's in fantastic form himself. Can't catch him. Goalie in no man's land. 140-yard ball over the top. And it ends like that.
Clutch against Benfica.
Will he be made to pay for that? Oh, he certainly will. It's a big, big mistake by the Benfica defender. And what a season Raphinha is having.
Dunking on Madrid in Supercopa.
Raphinha keeps his head, keeps his feet, keeps his balance. A fantastic fifth for Barcelona. This is history in the making. The Madrid empire is falling apart.
Game after game, Raphinha was exploding. But it wasn't just the stats. It was the movement, the relentless sprints into space, the selfless runs that dragged defenders and created room for others, the leadership, standing up for Yamal after a rough tackle, rallying the bench to join celebrations, connecting with the young stars, showing his desire to win. In the beginning of the season, he already made hundreds of runs in behind, more than Kylian Mbappe and twice as many as anyone else in La Liga. His stamina is better than Lily Phillips. His high-intensity sprints were unmatched. Whether it was the first minute or the 90th, Raphinha was giving you 110%. This wasn't luck. This was a player finally placed in the right system. A system that saw his movement not as chaos, but as a weapon. And for the first time at Barcelona, Raphinha felt something new. He felt love. Named one of the club's 4 captains, backed by his teammates, believed in by his manager. Flick even called him the heart of the locker room.
Raphinha is a great example of how this team works. Raphinha is always a player that leads by example, gives his all in his training sessions, and also today in a game of high intensity, he's an important player for us.
A leader, a fighter, and now a Ballon d'Or contender. Damn, I felt like Eminem rapping there. It was fitting that on a night where Salah struggled against PSG, Raphinha popped out and destroyed Benfica. Again, he was wearing this exact jersey, which you can have too if you go to buygamejerseys.com and use the code PETTALKS. It's not just his goals and assists that are impressive, but the timing of them has been crucial. He's literally been the definition of clutch for Barca, coming through when they have needed him the most. It was his dominance of Madrid that helped the Blaugrana lift the Super Cup. From the boy who played barefoot in the favelas, to a man who almost walked away from Spain, Raphinha has become the soul of Barcelona's new era. This isn't just a resurgence, this is redemption. After years of being the underdog, he's not just thriving at one of the biggest clubs in the world, he's leading it, wearing the captain's armband, deciding games, and hearing his name ring out from the stand. Raphinha's rise wasn't scripted, it wasn't easy, but maybe that's what makes it so powerful. Because in a world that often writes people off before their story even begins, Raphinha wrote his own, and it's far from over. To see just how good the rest of Barcelona has been, you gotta check out this video right here.